You know, we talk a lot about gatekeeping in this metal community of ours. How people are constantly stifling the progress of metal, putting it in a place it shouldn't be in, and shoving it into positions and boxes that it just doesn't fit in, like square pegs and round holes. However you want to approach the debate, I think without a shadow of a doubt, the genre that has been most afflicted by this sort of gatekeeping mentality and purist approach is, without a doubt, black metal. Now, obviously, metalcore and death metal have its own thing. I don't really see it with like the very extreme things like grindcore or gore grind, because I don't think anyone's really trying to take that so far out of the equation. Like, you can usually trust that a grindcore record is gonna sound and be like a fucking grindcore record and not have too much done to the formula. But God forbid, get a black metal or a death metal fan in a room and tell them that you're gonna change their style, and you'll really weed out the ones that are a little bit too purist. But I don't want to be wrongly accusatory, and I don't want to sit here and act like traditionalism is a bad thing, that wanting the lifeblood of a genre to stick around is going to be a bad thing. I've actually never had an issue with the kind of elitists that are respectful and debative with the way that they approach things and talk concisely and constructively about why they think a genre should stick in the lane that it's been in for so long. Because much of the time, the thing that people sell short is the fact that purists and elitists care a fuck ton about the genres that they're fighting for, clearly. Because I don't think that they would be putting this much brain power and energy to talking about the genres that they love and fighting for the quality control that they truly do believe it deserves. That being said, a very memed on term, but a very serious term in the black metal community throughout the latter part of the 2010s that has flourished into something that you either really love or really cringe at when you hear it is the term True Kvlt. It's stylized in a different way, it's not really spelt the way that you would think it would be spelt, and it's become a little bit of a buzzword in the black metal community. People get scared of it. People don't really know what the fuck it means. It's kind of like saying something is avant-garde. You'll be like, well, what the ever-living fuck is avant-garde? What does that even stand for? Just because something's experimental, it automatically falls into the category of, oh, it's avant-garde, I guess. And usually, a similar thing has happened with black metal, where when you hear something that is lo-fi, that is poorly recorded, it will immediately get the terminology associated with it, True Kvlt. And there are two sides of this coin. It's either said in a very positive light and held to a high standard, a higher standard, dare I say, or it's used in a very derogatory, demeaning, and degrading light to sort of poke fun at it. On one side of the spectrum, you have the people who think that it has high quality, that if something is True Kvlt, it means that it is successfully branding itself to be the proper kind of black metal, that it is maintaining the hallmarks that black metal deserves, and it has the type of quality that you want to hear from it. That it fits their criteria, that it ticks all the boxes that they want to be ticked off, and lives up to the expectations that they have, lofty as they may be. It's a way to differentiate the plebeian black metal or the commercially viable black metal from the True Kvlt stuff, which usually ends up becoming synonymous in the end with just being more underground, more badly produced, or far less accessible than what you get from like a Death Heaven or an Alcest. On the other side of the spectrum, you see people that are very anti-gatekeepy, using it as a buzzword to be derogatory to the people that like that type of music and say that calling something True Kvlt is corny, is cringy, and it's a thing of the past. Sort of weaponizing the term True Kvlt to denote something that is something that should be frowned upon in a way, or is holding the genre back. You know, call me fucking Switzerland, like I hate to be the centrist of the debate, but I really don't think, I think people are missing the fucking point. Different types of music exist. Different type of musical expressions exist, and just because people are getting more into the type of music that you enjoy doesn't automatically mean that they're going to taint the reputation of it, or they're going to take it in a direction that you don't like. If you don't want to listen to that kind of music, simply don't listen to it. No one has a gun to your head. No one's making you listen to the more commercially viable things. And I think something a lot of these purists fail to understand is these bands a lot of times serve as gateways into more extreme forms of music that may lead down the rabbit hole to the same positions in the same bands that they enjoy and the same artists that mean a lot to them. And it's kind of sad to see, because for a genre that is so enamored with the concept of being for outsiders and being for the pariahs of the world and having something emotionally attached to it and having this human tragedy in musical form, these people that listen to the more accessible black metal are still getting things from it, especially considering a lot of the more commercially viable black metal bands are atmospheric in their nature. Because, newsflash, no one gets the choice to decide what resonates with someone. You don't choose the things that speak to you or that find you at a time in your life that you need them to find you. And even though black metal has always been underground, it's not like it's never gotten publicity or recognition. Black metal's been in the press since the fucking church burnings. I mean, look at fucking Lords of Chaos. That made millions of dollars. Millions of people saw it, many of which weren't metalheads. And who's to say that someone that listens to a Death Heaven aren't led down the rabbit hole to end up listening to Xasthur or Leviathan? I just think the term True Kvlt is kind of stupid on both ends of the spectrum, but I kind of side a little bit more with the elitists, just because I can understand why you would want to denote something being noticeably more underground and lo-fi. It's a way to sort of signal to people that like that kind of music what it is. But when the elitists are using it as a term to sort of detract anyone else and sort of put down anything that doesn't fit in that category, and non-elitists are using it as this derogatory buzzword to try to talk down to people that really want quality in the genre, it kind of just becomes this fucking meaningless word that has been devoid and stripped of everything that it initially stood for. But what are your guys' opinions of the term True Kvlt? Let me know down in the comment section below if you stand for it, if you don't, and what your opinions are of elitism within the black metal community. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.